And we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Runs from Debates. I'm your co-host Dibo, along with my other two co-hosts, Matt and Owen.
How you doing? How you doing? Always good
Oh,
to be back.
starting off fresh with a little voice crack from the young man.
Had
He,
to clear the throat right
he may be
after.
growing a beard, but he's not that old yet.
Nah, he trying to get the little peace fuzz in. We see him. We see
Oh, peach fuzz is a bit disrespectful, I think
him.
personally.
Nah,
Um,
that shit's not peach, bro. That's definitely brown.
Nah, yeah.
it's coming in
Let's
nice. It's
put some
coming in
respect
nice
on the name.
for like 2 weeks of growth. It's not bad. We still got another 2 weeks.
No shave November,
Counting down
baby.
the days till I can shave. But we'll see. I've actually got some compliments. Got some people saying I should already shave. So mixed reviews.
Damn, that's
Nah,
foul.
man, what's fair?
Hey, what are you gonna do?
That's
Fair enough.
true. That is true. That is very true. Shoot, man. What have y'all been up to recently, man? What have you been up to?
Not much. Right before this, I was playing some pickup footy. Day before this, I was playing some pickup basketball.
Pick up
So
basketball.
yeah,
Out me.
at
Ooh,
24.
okay, that's what's up.
At 24, it was me, Abdul, Sadeghi, and then two others yesterday against just five others. And we were running fives.
Hmm.
I had my usual type game, just played great defense and kind of rebounded. But we didn't have any scorers on the team. And when Matt's on the team, you kind of need scores.
Yeah, just
So that was the problem.
yeah, Matt's basketball comparison, in my opinion, is like a little bit of a teasing
Facu
McConnell,
Campazzo.
not teasing McConnell. Not because
Ooh,
of
he's
their skin
teaching
color,
McConnell.
but because of their defensive capability. Them doing the dirty work for at the guard position. So with guys like that, you typically need more of a score first type of player. A guy that can consistently put the ball in. And I guess that's what didn't happen at 24 when they were running.
No, it
Happens that
didn't.
way sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm saying when we're all back in town, we got to go to 24 and just hoop.
Down.
I'm always ready, man. I got that strap on me. Let's
I'm
go.
down, bro.
I'm down. I'm down as well. We don't even gotta go 24. We could go to a park or something. But we literally that whole group chat, we could pull up and play fives. We got the numbers
Oh yeah,
ready in there.
that'd be so much fun, dude.
That is facts. That is
That'd be
facts.
so much fun.
That is facts. That
Hey,
is-
after next week, Thanksgiving break, I'll be
I'm
there.
saying when do you come back down, Owen?
Whatever next Friday is.
Mm.
Fair enough. Fair enough. How are y'all doing?
17th.
Any
Man,
are
chilling,
teachers
dude.
piling on the work for you guys?
What's that?
Are
Mhm.
professors piling on the work for you guys right now?
Oh, absolutely,
A little
bro. I'm
bit,
getting
yeah.
cooked. I'm getting baked, man. But hey, we got pushed through. We got power through it. Few more weeks left to the end of the semester, man. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get this paper.
Hey,
Let's
once
get
we're
these
there,
grades.
though,
Let's go.
it's celebration season, dude.
Mm-hmm.
No
4 months
sub.
off, man. I can't wait.
It's gonna be beautiful.
It was a quick ass semester though.
Oh
That is
yeah,
true. That is very true.
100%.
Because we basically got like less than a month left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of weird to think about it. Very weird.
Super-
But
super weird.
that comes with life in general. So we just gotta keep moving forward. Keep pushing at the end of the day. So hey.
For
All right.
sure.
All right, all
Let's
right,
get
all
into
right.
the episode, shall we?
Yes, sir. I was about to mention that. Thank you, Owen. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Um, yeah, man. We got a stacked episode for today, both NFL and NBA talk right now. With this whole episode going on. November, it's in full swing. Winter is in full swing. So with that, a lot of sports are cooking up right now, especially with the NBA and NFL. Um, and so, with how we're gonna do it for today, first we're gonna talk about our NFL mid-season awards. We're gonna give out, each a lot of names for all the major awards in the NFL. So we can't wait for that. And with our NBA segment, we're gonna have a very special one from yours truly. It's gonna be surprised. So stay tuned.
Yeah,
Can't
can't
wait.
wait.
Can't
Yeah.
wait. He's been hyping it up all week, hyping it up in the group chat. So I'm excited to see what he's got planned.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
For
It's a big
sure.
one.
For sure. I can't wait. I'll beat him no matter what.
What award do we want to start with, Mr. Elango?
Shoot. Yeah, it's your call, really.
Ooh. I say we start with something small, something not too big. You want to start with one of the rookie awards or coach of the year?
Let's do Coach of the Year first.
All right.
All right. All right. Owen, who's your coach of the year?
It's got to be Harbaugh. It's got to be.
What's a
The
fair pick?
Ravens, I mean, the Ravens, they kind of started off slow, but they're coming back strong. He's been
That's
doing
true.
a very good job with that team.
Very true. I have a lot of high praise for the Ravens right now. One of the best teams, if not the best team in the entire league. Best record as well. And with Harbaugh, um, at the start of the year, it was a little bit shaky. You have to admit it was a little bit shaky. One game that sticks out to my eye was the Colts game. They were playing at home. Big favorites to win that. The Colts, they're obviously missing their star quarterback Anthony Richardson with an injury, so Gardner Minshew had to step in. And throughout the entire game, the Ravens had a ton of opportunities to, send in that knockout punch, but they just kept letting the Colts be in it throughout the whole entire game. And at the end, obviously, they went to overtime. Indy, despite their offense being mediocre, they kicked the game-winning field goal and they got the win, upsetting Baltimore on their home field. But after that week, obviously, Baltimore's totally turned it up a whole nother level, man. And with these big wins against teams like the Lions and the Seahawks, I feel like Harbaugh stepped it up with his coaching ability, and I feel like that's one of the huge reasons why Baltimore is where they are right now.
No, 100%. I saw a post the other day, and it was talking about how the Ravens lead the league in point differential at the moment, and it's some ridiculous number. Like they're outscoring their opponents by, or they've outscored their opponents by like 136 points, or some crazy number. Um, and the only way you can do that is by executing on both sides of the ball, and that's absolutely what the Ravens have done. We know that John Harbaugh, he holds it down on the defensive side of the ball, and the Lions went into Baltimore, the Seahawks went into Baltimore, and their offenses could not execute. And on the flip side of things, the defense is well oiled. The offense looks like they can't be stopped at the moment. Lamar is playing excellent. So Harbaugh is not a bad pick at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. Um,
You want
yeah.
to go next or me, Dibo?
You can go next, Matt.
My coach of the year. Harbaugh was my finalist. It was between Harbaugh and this guy. But at the end of the day, I picked Dan Campbell.
Mhm.
The Lions on the season, they're 6-2.
Yeah, that's true.
And me and Dibo, I remember we were doing our preseason predictions. We thought that they were going to win the division. But I didn't think it would be this convincingly, and I didn't think that they'd be able to perform the way they are. A lot of people heading into the season kind of had doubts about Dan Campbell. They kind of saw him as this motivating guy, this dude that everybody loves, but they didn't really know if he knew the scheme well. And it's just the complete opposite. The more the season has gone on, it's become more and more evident that this team plays hard for him and that he knows what he's doing. And 6-2 on the year, I see them being a contender in the NFC. So I think it has to be Dan Campbell.
Hey,
Hey,
man.
I don't hate it.
Nah, me neither. With Dan Campbell, I feel like this season compared to his first 2 years as the Lions head coach, I feel like he is evolved as a game manager and controlling the game, learning when to be smart with going on forward on fourth downs, and just overall schematically as a head coach. Because obviously, the first day he came in as their new head coach, from the get go, he showed that all right, he's just clear for philosophy where a grit and grind type of guy. Um, got the bucket. Well, I don't know what word to say. The construction worker hat. Hard hat on, man. They're gonna be tough. They're gonna fight. They're gonna buy some kneecaps off. Just a gritty coach. A coach that the players in the locker room can fight for on a week to week basis. And obviously that mentality has still been intact, but the overall game managing, the overall scheming within the game, it wasn't there. And I feel like with this season, it's completely changed with an improvement in talent on the defensive end, and with obviously new playmakers coming in on offense.
And and I want to add something. It's been well stated that I'm a big proponent of like offensive coaches versus defensive coaches, but I think something that we're really starting to see is the game manager type of coach is kind of running this league at the moment. I mean, you look at Nick Sirianni in Philadelphia; he's looking like one of the best coaches, and we're seeing on new heights with Jason and Travis Kelsey. They're talking about, hey, Andy Reid when Eric Bieniemy was still there, when he was able to be a game manager, when Nick Sirianni is able to be a game manager, Dan Campbell's being a game manager. We're seeing all of this, and it's the highest coaches at the level, and they're able to focus on the game, focus on what to do, make the smart play, when to use the timeouts correctly, and I think that's kind of the evolution of the game. Harbaugh is doing the same in Baltimore, and I think there's a real pattern there.
Yeah, and to add on to your point, Matt, right? I'm gonna use last night's game as an example. I know a lot of people didn't watch that game. I can't blame them because that was complete trash. But uh, with Frank Reich as an example, the Panthers head coach, that late game management near the end, that final drive, completely horrible. Um, well, when they were marching down the field during that fourth down, right? Less than 2 minutes left to go. They burned a timeout during that
Yeah,
final
yeah,
drive where if you weren't going to convert, if you weren't going to get points on that drive, and on the defensive side, the Chicago, if they could just get first down, the game would be basically over. So what does Frank Reich do on 4th and 10 where obviously he either had a choice between giving the rock to Bryce Young, letting him cook to get 10 yards to get a first down, or letting a kicker in Eddie Pinheiro, whose career high field goal yardage was 56, and they tried to kick a 59-yard field goal at Soldier Field where it was cold as hell and the conditions were poor for kicking basically. And
mhm,
so Pinheiro missed a field goal. Obviously, Reiki got cooked for his late game management, and obviously the Panthers are still really bad. And so with what Matt was saying earlier, with game managers, with coaches managing games now in this league, it is a maker difference between a team making the playoffs, being a serious contender, than just obviously not making it and just being mediocre.
yeah, yeah. But following that game, I think that people got to stop hating on Bryce Young. I think that he showed poise when he's got the time. I think he arguably has the worst receiving core in the league. Probably not arguably. I think he does have the worst receiving core in the
Nah,
league.
yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
And I mean, there were like three drops on the final drive alone. Um, two from Hayden Hurst. I remember those. And then the O line just couldn't protect him all night. I think Montez Sweat had like seven or eight pressures during the game. Um, so shout out to him performing after the trade, but that Panthers O line could not protect their rookie QB at all.
Yeah,
No,
it's terrible for
no,
sure.
and with Bryce Young, right? I'm gonna talk about that for a little bit. Then we're gonna move on. With Bryce Young, I feel like the majority of the blame in Carolina right now obviously goes to Frank Reich and that offensive unit. The receiving core, complete trash. Thielen, Mingo, which I like coming out of Ole Miss. They haven't been utilizing him a lot. Terrace Marshall Jr., one of the worst wide receivers in the entire league, in my opinion. I know he's still young, but still. Laviska Chenault, just guys that.
Former Buff,
You said what? You said what, man?
former Buff, Laviska Chenault.
Shout out Buffalo, go Buffs. But just receivers that they can't get open, they can't separate consistently, and the O line, in addition, that's been poor. It's been really poor. One of the worst units in the league by far. The running game's been poor. Miles Sanders, he's done nothing the entire year. That was one of their big free agent signings. So with Bryce Young and his production this year, a lot of that can be put on the overall scheme of the offense, them not helping them out. But at the same time, right, when I look at a guy like Bryce Young and I look at his traits, and what I've been seeing from his rookie year, I'm not seeing a lot of stuff that pops out to me, man. Um, Probably the biggest aspect of his game, coming back from Alabama, was his ability to create outside the pocket and to create off script plays. And ever since he's been on the Panthers, he hasn't been really been able to capture that magic. And you add the fact with him having an average arm, he doesn't really have zip on the ball. His physical traits aren't really there. I really don't see even a top 10 quarterback right now out of Bryce Young. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I'd say it's rookie year, Bryce Young. I think rookie year QB is probably the hardest position in all years to be a rookie,
That
or
is true.
in all positions to be a rookie.
That's very
Um,
true.
but I'd say extending the play was definitely something that made him the number one pick. I'd say it's also his accuracy and just the way he's able to get the ball out quickly.
Mhm.
And that's why he was drafted early. And when you don't have receivers who are able to get separation and the O line isn't giving you the time, it's kind of hard to release the ball quickly and accurately. Um, so I think that Bryce Young definitely has not lived up to the expectations, but I don't think he's been in the right environment to live up to the expectations.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't at all. Yeah, we're gonna move on, but hey, man, Bryce, I'm praying for you. That
I
Panthers
am too.
team's absolute dumpster fire, man. So
I got him. I got him on
very,
the dynasty league. I need him to do well.
that's true. That's very true. Actually, I don't. Well, I still want Bryce to do well, but I just want him to leave Matt's team in our dynasty league. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hey,
But
because I'm too
but
OP or what?
I'm still gonna beat you this week. But
Oh, we do got a matchup this week.
we
We
do.
do got
But
a matchup this week.
yeah, let's move on. So for my pick for coach of the year, I'm going to go with a different head coach, and that is Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski.
Wow.
Uh,
You
Interesting.
said, I mean, okay. Here's my reasoning.
uh,
All right.
Cook up,
So
Dibo.
with this season, obviously, their best offensive player losing him for the rest of the year with Nick Chubb, uh, their key guy for their running game, which is their bread and butter of that offense. Also, you add the fact with them not having Deshaun Watson, their supposed star quarterback for the majority of this year. They've been trying to win games with PJ Walker as their quarterback in these spots, and Stefanski, they're still winning games. The offense, it still has been productive. It still has been efficient with guys like Jerome Ford stepping in, Kareem Hunt. He's been having a nice year. Amari Cooper, he's still a very good receiver as well. There's key pieces like that. And so with Stefanski, I feel like right now with this offense and how it's currently constructed, and with the health of Deshaun Watson being in question and his overall playing ability, I feel like we got to put Stefanski in these close to the year talks. We just have to.
I mean, I don't got a problem with him being in the talks. I mean, I think he won it. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? His first season with the Browns.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a COVID year. Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I think you did a good job justifying it because obviously they're 5-3, and I mean they have some pretty instrumental wins, beating like the 49ers without Deshaun Watson back there. Um, for me, I wouldn't have him as coach of the year. Obviously, as you can tell, I had Dan Campbell.
Mhm.
Um, but Kevin Stefanski, I understand the rationale.
No, yeah, no, I don't hate it either, especially with all the diversity they've had to deal with so far this season. And it's only halfway through the season. He's done a great job. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I just think there's going to be better candidates for the award come the end of the season.
Hmm. It's fair enough. Fair enough.
I will say the one thing that kind of dissuaded me from Stefanski was kind of their record in like close games. Because you remember the Monday night they lost to the Steelers. That was a
Mhm.
close game. They lost to the Seahawks on a play call that I know Danny was very unhappy about late in the game. So I think a big part of coaching is late game execution. And I think that that's one piece that's been lacking for this Cleveland Browns team.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I see where you're coming from there in that aspect. I mean, this that Seattle game, I understand it was on the road, and he slept PJ Walker at quarterback, which PJ Walker,
To be ahead in that game was pretty impressive.
yeah, it was really impressive, but that was still a very winnable game. But it just slipped away through their hands. So I do understand where you're coming from with that, man. I really do.
All right, though. What award do we want to move on to?
Let's do the rookies.
We going offensive or defensive first?
Take your pick.
Offensive, because it's the most consensus pick.
Yeah, it's a runaway.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Can we do it? Can we do it on three?
Yes.
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
There's no question there.
No-brainer.
He's amazing, man.
Shout out Matt's guy Puka Nakua. He was obviously disgraced, but man, Brent Rippon,
it's not the same.
Ball, it's not the same anymore. I'm sorry, Matt. No offense.
Don't worry, Carson Wentz is here to save us.
Jesus Christ, that's bad. Oh, brother.
No.
Oh, pray for Matt, y'all. Pray for Matt, man. Pray for Matt.
We're playing. But CJ Stroud, he definitely helped himself out with that performance against the Buccaneers. He already had the award before, but that just put the icing on top. But he's passed every expectation that people had for him. He's beat it and he's surmounted it by like times 2. So consensus pick for me.
Oh,
that's very true.
I don't think there's anything else that really needs to be said. He's amazing.
Yeah, and with Stroud, right? 14 touchdowns, 1 interception the whole year. I know that's just raw statistics, but you're seeing the efficiency on the tape. You're seeing the elite traits he has already with his arm strength, his accuracy, his ability to throw with anticipation. And it's not even just the game he had versus the Bucks last week. Just dating back to earlier this season when they played the Jaguars, they blew them out the Texans even without most of the key players on that O line, especially without Laramie Tunsil. And for him just to go into Jacksonville and just cook them that game, I feel like that was the early indicator that this man was going to be a very special quarterback. And with how his season has gone, and with the Texans as well, offensively, they're still they're one of the best units in the entire league, despite having a makeshift offensive line the whole entire year, despite having one of the worst run games in the entire year. CJ Stroud is making enough plays. He's making enough exciting moments throughout to let the whole league know and us fans know that he's a franchise guy. And he's already one of the elite quarterbacks in the league by far.
Coming out of Ohio State, nonetheless.
The Ohio State, I might add.
The Ohio State.
First of the century.
First of the century. Oh. Yeah, that's
I don't know if that's true, but first of my lifetime.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, shout out to Earl Pryor, though. Shout out to Earl Pryor.
We'll always remember that one, 100-yard rushing touchdown against the Raiders.
That was nasty.
Or no, not Raiders, against Steelers.
Oh, yeah, against Steelers. Raiders legend.
When he was on the Raiders.
Salute, man. Salute.
Defensive rookie of the year. Who you guys got?
Dibo, let's hear it.
Okay, let me go first. Shoot. With my defensive rookie of the year, I picked Jalen Carter from the Eagles as my guy. Well, I don't know about y'all, but Jalen Carter, he's the consensus guy to win this award, man, defensive rookie of the year. And from day one, him going on that Eagles O-line, I said O-line, the Eagles D-line from Georgia, sorry. From day one, that first step on the field, he has shown that he is one of the best interior guys in the entire league by far. His explosiveness coming off the line, his ability to power over linemen, those traits were already shown since his college tape, and to the pros, those traits have obviously translated really well. So for him to be one of the most elite players in his position, to be one of the most impactful players in his position. Him being in that D line with a bunch of big names as well. I feel like that is a testament to his greatness.
Okay.
Speaking of consensus pick, I got somebody else.
It's Heritage.
And you guys want to take any guesses?
Corner.
Yeah,
Witherspoon. Seattle.
I do got Devin Witherspoon as my defensive rookie of the year.
That's mine too. I'll get it out of the way.
See, before hopping on, I told Dibo it was between two people, and it was between Jalen Carter and Devin Witherspoon. But I think Devin Witherspoon has had a phenomenal year. To come on to Seattle, where the previous season everybody was talking about Tariq Woolen in defensive rookie of the year conversation, and for him to basically knock Tariq Woolen to the corner number 2, take the corner number 1 spot, take on big receivers in every single game, whether it was Zay Flowers last week, Jamar Chase earlier weeks, Amari Cooper against the Browns. He's always looking for the big matchup, and he's consistently performed in those big matchups. Obviously, everybody saw the performance he had on Monday Night Football against the Giants. He's been locked down all year, and to have a rookie corner playing one of the hardest positions on the field, and him performing the way he is, it's really impressive. So he's got to get it for me.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I like that you brought in the dog. He doesn't back down from anyone, which that's a good quality for a corner that's going to have great success coming up in the future. And right now he's doing amazing. I think it's got to be him for defensive rookie of the year.
He wanted all the smoke with Jamar. He was talking pregame before DK was talking pregame for Devin Witherspoon, saying like Spoon's got him, like we'll hold him down. And as a wide receiver, Jamar is hearing that and he's thinking he's gonna feast. And I think Jamar finished the game with like less than 50 yards receiving or something like that.
I'm always open.
So yeah, 7-11. So to shut down a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL, like that's really impressive as a rookie too.
Absolutely.
Very impressive. And one more thing to add before we move on with Devon Witherspoon. Coming into the draft, right, him and Christian Gonzalez, those two guys, they were going to be my 1A and 1B from that position. I felt like a ton of people were saying Gonzalez was the consensus top corner in the draft, including Matt. But I feel like those two were very similar talent-wise with their ability to impact on the field, even in different ways. With Witherspoon obviously being put more in those nickel positions as a nickel corner, but with Seattle, when you see the tape, his explosiveness, especially coming off that line, when it comes to them putting him in blitz packages, he is so explosive, man. His pursuit to the ball, his aggression, and his overall tenacity to, with not being afraid to tackle, being able to make big splash plays, and also being a great corner for his young age. I feel like the talent was always there, and I feel like those two guys are going to be elite studs in the coming future. Elite studs.
For sure. But get well soon to Christian Gonzalez because we want to see you back on the field.
That's very true, man. Shout out Gonzo. Viva Colombia.
Viva Colombia. Shout out Luis Diaz. His father is back and free.
Yes, sir. My brother, man. Let's go. Hey, shout out Andrew too.
Dang.
Big homie, man. Much love. I love Colombia, man. Love all my Colombian brothers and sisters, man. I love y'all.
All right. Comeback player of the year now?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You trying to go first, man?
Right. Yeah, man. I hear you got a controversial thing.
I might got a controversial one. So should I keep it for last or should I go first?
Nah, you got to go first. We got to
go first, baby. Let's go.
My first is Breece Hall. I got Breece Hall for comeback player of the year. And I understand it's controversial because there's a guy named Damar Hamlin who's returning back to football after literally almost passing away on the field. And look, I'm not gonna front. I'm absolutely happy for Damar Hamlin. Seeing him back in Cincinnati, I saw that he took a moment on the field. That it's great to see that he was able to come in and handle it and not get too emotional. But at the end of the day, DeMar Hamlin has played like one drive of football all season, and Brees Hall
Not
is
even. Sorry, not even a
not
drive. Yeah,
not even a drive.
he had 18 snaps on special teams. I checked. No
Okay,
disrespect
okay.
to
So
him, but those were the stats.
no. I appreciate it. We always want to be accurate here on Lunchroom Debates.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, on the other hand, you got a guy like Brees Hall, who came off this very impressive rookie year, tore his ACL, and then coming into this season, he was getting outsnapped by Dalvin Cook. We didn't really know what it was going to look like for him, if he was going to have the same explosiveness. And basically, after week 3, they've given him the rock, given him the bell carries, and he's looked like the old Brees Hall. If we want to talk about comeback player of the year, coming back is coming back from an injury and being better than what you were, and that's exactly what Brees Hall has done. And so I think he has to be comeback player of the year.
Oh, is that what that is though?
I mean, I would argue it.
Because my guy is DeMar Hamlin, and I think it's just by default for anyone to come back from such a scare like that, to come back to the sport you love. That's what a comeback is. You're coming back after quite literally almost dying, and that's amazing. And granted, he's only played in one game this year.
Mm-hmm.
So then how much of a comeback is it?
He's still back playing football. That's what's amazing. That's what makes it the comeback. But no, as we're halfway through the season, he's only played one game. I'd imagine he's probably going to play at least one more.
Well, I mean, this is midseason awards. This is midseason awards. It's not predicting what's going to happen. It's saying if the season ended today.
I don't know about DeMar Hamlin playing another game, which it's not. I'm not shitting on him, but I don't know how those are going to run throughout the rest of this year. But with my pick for comeback player of the year, I'm going to go with Brees Hall. And to add on what Matt said earlier, for Brees Hall to come back from his ACL tear, obviously from last year, he showed promise during his rookie year, and to bounce back, still having that same explosiveness, that same ball carrier vision, that same running back that had those big splash plays, especially in the Jets offense, has been complete trash. It's been terrible.
Yeah.
Without Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson stepping in, even with the addition of that poor O line. And so with Brees Hall coming back from his injury and still maintaining his spot as one of the premier running backs in his position in the entire league, I feel like he would get the award besides Hamlin.
Yeah, I don't hate it because Brees Hall, what a player, man. I watched him absolutely torch my Broncos, and it was brutal. And just to know that he's been doing that, not only to the Broncos, but every other team in the league, has been amazing. He's an amazing player, and especially coming off such a devastating injury like that. It's awesome.
No. If we're talking who's actually going to win it, it's DeMar Hamlin. Let's just be real. DeMar Hamlin's definitely going to win this award.
That's true.
But any other year, Brees Hall would win this.
Yes.
And let me add one more thing, right? This DeMar Hamlin situation for this award, it's very comparable with Alex Smith winning the comeback player of the year back in that 2020 season. And with that year, right, Alex Smith, he obviously had that season-ending leg injury. His leg completely messed up, man, and it was life-threatening too for his overall health. And for him to come back, and I know he still played, but he, like, when you look at his production-wise, he didn't play that great. But it didn't matter because for him to come back, for him to battle that much adversity, for him to still be on that field when he knew that with his leg injury, he might even be able to walk again, it's incredible.
Exactly. That's the thing with DeMar. It's just by default he's going to win it because of what the injury was and what it takes to get back to the point he's at now.
Right, and I know I picked Brees Hall to win this award, but if come February when DeMar Hamlin wins it, I'm not gonna be mad at all. I'm not gonna be mad because he came back from almost dying on the football field, man. That's important. And I'm so tired of the general NFL fan base just crapping on this man for no reason. DeMar Hamlin, it wasn't DeMar Hamlin's choice to get all this media attention. It wasn't DeMar Hamlin's choice to have all these stories, have all these social media posts made about him. It's not his. It wasn't his choice. It wasn't his fault. And so we are going to completely crap on this man and make lies about this man's condition just because of that one incident. That's completely messed up. That's so
I
messed up.
I do also want to add that like for Brees Hall, for I think it was Dak Prescott last year, or was it Dak Prescott last year? It was somebody last year. In the years prior, there's always like the physical barrier of coming back from an ACL, Achilles, and there's also a mental barrier with it. Taking the hits and stuff like that. But the mental barrier that Damar Hamlin and that Alex Smith have to take to get back onto the field after such
Oh,
drastic
absolutely.
injuries, as you said, that are life threatening, that's something completely different. Because a torn ACL is one thing, like, hey, I might not be able to walk, but I'm still gonna live my life. Like, we didn't know. Everybody was watching that. I think it was Sunday night game, um, Bills Bengals, and it was just everybody's jaw dropped, and we couldn't believe what was happening. Like, is this really like real life? And for Damar Hamlin, he had to live that, and to come back onto the field to basically have to deal with all that mental distress, it's a phenomenal thing.
Man,
Yep.
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
All right then, shall we move on to offensive player of the year?
I think we shall.
Let's see.
This
Yeah.
kind of another runaway, to be honest.
Yeah, why not? Shoot.
Yeah, this one might be a consensus pick as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go on 3.
All right.
Three.
1, 2, 3. Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek
Tyreek
Hill.
Hill.
Yeah.
Lovely,
There you go.
lovely.
There you go.
Dibo, why don't you talk about him, considering you got him in fantasy football?
What's
Yeah,
he doing for your team
it's completely saving my ass every week.
then?
Yeah, he's been a cheat code in fantasy. But we just keep moving on with these wins, and I think Tyreek's performances throughout the year for that, man. But we're gonna get better. We're gonna get better to finish this year off. We got some key guys coming in through our roster. I know Matt's being a hater right now, but we got some guys coming through like a Taysom Hill. We just traded for Kyron Williams coming back from his IR spot, so we're gonna make that big playoff push. I'm not worried about that at all.
Dibo don't want to tell him about the poll that our fantasy football league had to make. They don't want to tell. He don't want to tell him what award he won.
Yeah. I was voted most fraudulent, and
Ooh.
we're just gonna take that on the chin and keep it moving. But at the same time, like I'm not gonna be worried about some of them guys' opinions because their teams. When you compare those teams to mine, it's just night and day. I mean, we got dudes that are like 2-7. They tanking for next year. They not even doing the tanking stuff right. So I'm not worried about
Nobody
this.
knows how to tank, bro, except for
Nobody.
Andrew. Andrew's doing a proper tank right now.
Bro, our dynasty league, no one knows how to run that dynasty league at all. Like,
Hey,
bro,
you're looking at a dude who's
okay.
8-1 here.
There's an exception, but there's like people that are few and far between to running a dynasty league, and for some of the guys in that league, they don't know what they're doing at all. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, there was this man Mason, for the people interested. He had Bijan, Kenneth Walker, and Brees Hall, and he had like George Pickens and Jordan Addison as his wide receivers. Just the perfect team for a dynasty, like for years to come. And now it's like Bijan is basically the only piece on his roster that stayed. Traded Kenneth Walker, traded Brees Hall for like nothing too.
Man,
That's
I want to talk about another guy, this dude named Alex, man. And I'll make it short because we got to move on still. So this man's taken, right, and when he made this one trade, I forgot the details of the trade, but after he made the trade, he was like, "Man, my rebuild going nicely, man. I got a ton of draft compensation." I look at his team and I'm like, "Bro, you only got one first rounder, man."
Mm-hmm.
Throughout these next like 3 years. You don't have your own first rounder for 2024, 2025. Like, bro, you only have one first rounder. No one
And
cares.
what's his record? And what's his record right now? It's like
27.
2-7.
27.
No, he literally was the Chicago Bears because he had his pick, and then there's another guy in our league, Andrew, who's tanking. So he had the first and second pick, and traded it for like Mark Andrews and Dibo Samuel, some win now pieces. So it's just the most head scratching stuff.
Blood doesn't know what he's doing, but we gotta move on though. We gotta move on with Tyreek Dude, man. Um,
Depoy.
from a real life perspective, like the clear best wide receiver in the entire league. I know it's between him and AJ Brown right now when it comes to production, but I feel like Tyreek is a whole different animal, and he's been showing that throughout this entire year.
Yeah, that the ability to make Tua look top 5. They had Tua in MVP conversations until last week, basically.
Fake.
Tua did not belong in there. He was like a polar bear in Arlington, Texas.
All of the
some
Tua,
people
but
will say.
his watch was fake. Them MVP
Yeah.
combos was fake.
But
They were man fake.
But Tyreek Hill, it seems like he's inevitably like going to be the best player on the field in any game he plays. Whether it was the Sunday night game against the Eagles where they were basically double and triple teaming him every game, the Dolphins will always find a way to get him involved, and rightfully so, because that man is a game changer.
Man, yeah, he's an absolute whooping, and he's what makes that offense click, that entire offense click, especially with what Coach McDaniel, with what he wants to do offensively, with the timing and with their consistent motion. I know the one thing they do that's been getting a ton of buzz lately from all the big NFL tape guys this year was their motion and how they do it. Like Tyreek, he comes like on this path, and then right when they snap the ball, he just goes quick like that, which throws defenses off because you see a guy like Tyreek coming downhill towards you. You don't know what to do, basically. You're completely cooked. And so that's how the Dolphins, their offense, they've shown that they're capable to be one of the best teams offensively in the entire league, and that's because of that. That's because of Tyreek's ability to be such a threat on the outside.
No, 100%. I will say, because we've spoken about Tyreek Hill, but for this Dolphins team, I want to see more Jalen Waddle. I think that's really the next step for this offense, because I think that they're a little too Tyreek dependent, and that might not be a bad thing, because we saw being too Tyreek dependent, saw them beat the Chargers when Tyreek Hill goes off, and it's not a bad thing to be dependent on basically the best wide receiver in the league. But I think that at some point in some time, teams are really gonna like try to figure out a way. Whether it was like the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, whether it's double and triple teaming him, like you need a second guy to work underneath him. And I think Jalen Waddle, with the talent he is, they need to utilize him more.
Absolutely.
True. I can agree with you on that. But also their running game,
Yeah.
They need, once Achan comes back from being off the IR. Sorry. Once Achan comes back, and him alongside Mostert, those two being so explosive coming out the backfield. If he comes back, he continues that start of the year he had before getting injured. If they can keep being explosive threats out of the backfield, that's going to open up so many things for this Dolphins offense, man.
100%. 100%. But they do love that outside zone.
Because it's money every time. It's money every time when they're all healthy. You can't blame them for that.
No, yeah, that's their only running play though in the playbook.
It's cash money, bro. It's still cash money. That's what they want to do, man. Just go on the outside, expose the team's perimeters defensively, and just get big chunk plays off the run, man. That's what they do. That's what they're doing. But we got to move on to the next award, and that is Dibo, Defensive Player of the Year.
I already know I got a different pick than both of you.
Is that so?
I already know. I'll go last though. Because I can tell you who both of you already have.
Is that so?
Is it a Cleveland Brown?
It is not.
Ooh, Debo's is a Cleveland Brown though.
Yes.
It's Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Danny not gonna like me.
I got somebody else in the division.
So do I.
Ooh, please! I didn't know me and Owen thinking on the same wavelength.
All right, you two go first then.
I got TJ Watt.
I got TJ Watt as well.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay. I pulled the stats. Not that stats like are the
They don't tell the whole story, but they tell a lot of it.
But tied on sacks between the two. T.J. Watt has a pick six. Myles Garrett has a blocked kick. I think did the block kick get returned for a touchdown?
No, it did not. But it
No,
was still really cool regardless. It was
Yes.
awesome.
T.J. Watt has 6 passes deflected to Myles Garrett, 2 passes deflected. Myles Garrett has 4 forced fumbles to T.J. Watt's 2 forced fumbles, and then T.J. Watt has 3 fumble recovers to Myles Garrett 1 fumble recovered. But the reason I chose T.J. Watt is I just think it's finally his year. After so many years of the defense carrying the offense and basically the defense winning the games and leading the team to these winning seasons, I think it's finally time. I think people are really realizing how bad this Steelers offense truly is. And it seems like every week the defense is having to win football games, whether it was last week against the Titans, the week against the Browns, the week against the Rams. It's literally every week. The week against the Raiders, it's literally every week the defense is having to go out there and win these games. And for the Steelers, Cameron Hayward missed a ton of time. Minka Fitzpatrick has been out. The secondary lost a lot of people to the point where Patrick Peterson is their number one corner on the roster or on the depth chart. And to have that as your defense, as your roster, ton of players injured, and to still have a 5-3 record, same as the Cleveland Browns, I think is really impressive. So I had to give it to TJ Watt this year.
And I believe, if I'm correct, the Steelers beat the Browns, didn't they?
They did. Week 2.
Exactly.
I mean, that wasn't a deciding factor.
That doesn't mean that.
Everything you said, Matt, is exactly what I was going to say. TJ Watt's just been that anchor point for that defense for so long, and he's looked just that much better this year. He's been amazing. What a player!
Mm-hmm. And it's like it's the timely moments like that matter the most to me, because in that Rams game, the Rams were up in the second half, and like our first drive, we throw a pick six in TJ Watt, and then we barely see the lead again. Against the Titans, multiple red zone sacks. He had a pressure that led to the eventual game-stealing interception. So it's like, one, I mentioned the stats, but if you look at a deeper level and you're watching the games, it's timely, and that's the real important thing. Because I think the game against the Browns, didn't he force wasn't it a strip fumble that he got to end the game?
That was the game-winning touchdown, yeah.
Yeah. Just timely stuff.
All right, Dibo, let's hear the case.
Yeah. No, I mean, Myles Garrett was my number 2, so it's like, I'm not going to hate on what Dibo's about to say.
I mean, they're Watt and Garrett, they're both 1 and 2, and obviously, ever since they've both stepped on in this league, right, they've always been compared with each other. Them being on that as pass rushers, them being in the division, playing against each other 2 times a year. So the comparisons have always been there. But for me with this award, I'm going to go with Myles Garrett, obviously. And my point with my decision is with how the Browns defense has been this season overall. I think they're the best defense in the entire league, in my opinion. And with obviously Garrett being the anchor of that defense and him, actually showing more presence with the pressure rate, him being able to get to the quarterback more often with New Hope, it has unlocked him to a whole nother level as an overall player. And I feel like right now, Myles Garrett is probably a top 5 most impactful player in this entire league. And we're seeing that throughout the year, man. For example, the Titans game, complete game record, got 3.5 sacks, was completely on Tannehill's ass the entire game. The Colts game, like you said earlier, man, him getting that block kick, him being able to strip Minshew with that forced fumble and sack to be able to give the Browns an easy opportunity to get points on that board. And just many other examples as well that I can point out that you can compare them with TJ Watt's moments too throughout this entire year. But with the difference is that Myles Garrett, when you look at the more advanced statistics when it comes to being a pass rusher, he is way higher with those pressure rates, then why? While also being more doubled when it comes to pre-snap coverages, him being able to align with opposing O linemen, seeing those double looks uh, in that manner. So I feel like with those factors, that for me edges out Garrett compared to Watt to win this award.
But this is the thing. You're only looking at one side of the thing. You're looking at like, oh, his pressures are better. He has better advanced stats. But you mentioned that the Browns arguably, or I think it's between them and the Niners, best defense in the league. Um, but best defense in the league goes a lot past just one pass rusher. I mean, he has the Darius Smith on the other side, Dalvin Tomlinson in the middle. He has Denzel Ward, Martin Emerson, Greg Newsome covering people. So, and right before this podcast, Daddy, actually, I don't know if Danny sent you guys the same stuff, but he sent me something posted by the Browns, and it's Denzel Ward has a 22.2 passer rating allowed when targeted, and Martin Emerson has a 23.9 passer rating allowed when targeted. So because of that, Myles Garrett is able to get a lot of these pressures and sacks because of the coverage. He's getting a lot of coverage sacks. Teams are getting in these 3rd and 10 situations quite frequently, so the quarterback's holding on to the ball a lot longer. And you mentioned the doubling. I'm sure that's true, but I know TJ Watt's getting chipped and doubled quite a bit as well. But I just think that TJ Watt doesn't really have that benefit of getting those coverage sacks. I mean, he has Levi Wallace and Patrick Peterson as his corner 1 and 2. They have a rookie on the roster too, something Peters.
Joey Porter Jr. has been nice this year, but yeah.
Who's the rookie on the roster? Is it Joey Porter Jr.?
It is Joey Porter Jr.
He's been good this year. But I still think that just the benefit of playing in that Browns defense. Obviously, Myles Garrett's the best player, head and shoulders above anybody else. But I do think that they have some superstars on that side of the ball. Superstars might not be the right word, but they got some high caliber players.
They got some dogs.
I mean, Denzel Ward's an all-pro corner. Darius Smith, he's a legit pass rusher. But say TJ Watt has an elite pass rusher on the other side of him as well.
That's true. His name's blanking. I don't know why, but Alex
Highsmith.
Yeah, Highsmith. I was gonna say Singleton. My fault. But yeah, Alex Highsmith. Yeah.
Alex Singleton. Isn't that the linebacker for the Broncos?
That is the linebacker. That's why I got confused.
But I mean, I don't hate the Myles Garrett pick. I mean, there's not like I was trying to make my argument
either is wrong
there, but yeah,
I don't think either is wrong.
Yeah, they're both elite. They'll both be on an all-pro team at the end of the year.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I don't know. Actually,
no, that's actually insane disrespect.
Well, okay, no. But I'm just saying, like, you got Max Crosby too. He's kind of a dark horse to be an all-pro.
Max Crosby he leads the league. No, he doesn't lead the league in sacks. Myles Garrett and TJ Watt are all tied, and then Danielle Hunter leads the league in sacks.
Yeah,
which is crazy. That's crazy.
But Max Crosby's giving you elite production on that end without not a single pass rusher on that D line, like notably good pass rusher. I mean, Tyree Wilson, he's kind of been very and you got other guys too that are like too. It's just Crosby dominating on a week-to-week basis. So, hey, do not be surprised if Crosby gets a first-team All-Pro nod this year. Do not be. He could sneak up.
Crosby's been nice. Hooping with the new coach. The Raiders balled out, but it was against the Giants.
Shout out Antonio Pierce, man. I don't know how the rest of his interim tenure is going to go, but he's way better than Josh McDaniels, that's for sure. I don't know. I'd rather have any coach than Josh McDaniels by far, man.
Did y'all see the video of Max Crosby smoking the backwood on TV while getting interviewed?
That was hard. That was very
that man gives no fucks.
What are you?
Zero.
Salute Max Crosby, man. He been balling. He been balling for the longest.
He's been balling for a while.
He's been a dog since his rookie year. He's been a dog for the longest, man. He's been one of the elite pass rushers in this league for a very long time, and I'm glad that the majority of us fans are coming to the realization.
Yeah, and the funny part is, like, the year they drafted him was the year that they had all the picks from the Khalil Mack trade. And I can't remember who they drafted. They drafted like Nate Hobbs, Jonathan Abram.
They got Clelin Ferrell with the first round pick.
Yeah, and it's funny because like Max Crosby's the only one who worked out, and I don't even think Max Crosby wasn't a first round pick, was he?
Nah, he was mad late. Yeah,
he was third round. Yeah.
Third?
So
I'm not
what
sure.
do you think he was?
I'm not sure.
Was he second or later?
I think he was a day 3. Let me be sure.
If he was a day 3, that's an insane steal. Remember, it's with 2 X's.
Oh, he was fourth rounder. Yeah.
Wow.
So day 3, early day 3, but still day 3. Salute to him. Right.
Shall we move to MVP?
MVP.
That's very true. We gotta wrap it up. We gotta wrap this portion up soon. Yeah, MVP. Let's go.
Owen.
Dude, I gotta go Tyreek Hill again.
You can't have MVP and OPOY. I think that's
happened before.
Yeah, I think you can.
Swear.
Yeah,
okay,
before.
And I know it's pretty unorthodox to have a non-quarterback win MVP, but what Tyreek Hill is doing this year is just unbelievable. To me, he's been the most impactful player. He's making that Dolphins team, I feel like, better than they actually are. And with that, I just think, most valuable player, I think he's the most valuable player in the league.
Hey, if Tua's in MVP conversations, Tyreek's got to be above him. So
exactly,
I'll give you that.
Man, if it was any year where a non-QB would win this MVP award, it has to be this year, man.
Oh, 100%.
Because there's no clear favorite in the quarterback position to win this award. I don't know, man. I feel like obviously wide receiver with the MVP award, it's not common for them to finish that high. I mean, you look at Cooper Kupp's record-breaking year, right?
Triple
He
crown.
didn't finish, Triple Crown. He didn't finish top 2 in MVP voting, and you can date back to the last time a wide receiver won that award. You could date that time back to where people were wearing like leather helmets. They were being like part-time milkmen. So they don't give the wide receiver position much love, but I feel like with how wide receivers are more utilized with these offenses and how they're more important in today's game, I think they should get more love within the MVP voting with these modern times. They have to.
They should, but MVP's a quarterback award.
Unfortunately.
They should rename it to quarterback award, but that's what it is. I don't know when we're gonna see a non-QB win this award, and it's really unfortunate because I don't think that's what the award was intended to be.
No.
Yeah, but you think about it. What's the most impactful position on the field? It's quarterback. It's quarterback without question.
Yeah, but like past years, when people have put like Trent Williams in that conversation, like people have laughed at it, and like Brock Purdy was in the MVP talk to start early in the year before they got in their 3-game losing streak.
Yeah,
and I think that while Brock Purdy is definitely in the most important position on the field, I think that position could be filled by somebody on the street, and they could do a pretty good job on the 49ers. Like not like that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
okay. Yeah.
Like Sam Darnold could perform there. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo perform there. We haven't seen Trey Lance perform there, but if he had some time, maybe he could have. But like, I just think like, depending on the team, it could vary how significant that position is.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Yeah.
But for me, my MVP, I will go conventional with the quarterback, and I do got Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Lamar in this new offense, I'm blanking on the OC's name.
Todd Monken.
Appreciate it. Lamar has looked like a beast in this system. Coming into the season, a lot of people were like, "Oh, Lamar got paid. He's gonna come in and not work anymore." And he's proved that fallacy to be absolutely wrong. Lamar, he's looked insane in this system. Being a pocket passer, which a lot of people thought he was just a running back, he's proving them all wrong. And he's looked impressive. The offense has been rolling basically since week 2, 3 of the season. And it's good to see. It's good to see, and I'm happy for Lamar. And this will be a second MVP.
It will be.
I do agree with you on this statement, Matt, because I have Lamar as my MVP winner as well.
He's a
Love to
beast.
see
He
it.
can do it all.
Any different rationale or reasoning?
Any different reasoning? Well, just the basic stuff. I mean, statistically, one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league. I mean, we obviously touched on bringing a more capable coordinator like Tom Monken in to help improve this offense. I think that's been doing that unit wonders overall. And you add the fact that you got a healthy Mark Andrews, Zay Jones, he stepped up as a rookie. OBJ, even though his statistics don't pop out to you. He can still get open at times. He can still draw players away from other receivers as well to open up the field more. And I feel like as a result, Lamar, he's clearly had his best year. A healthy Lamar, he's clearly had his best year since winning MVP back in 2019. That time he had one of the worst receiving cores in the entire league by far. This year, a more capable receiving core with more capable play calling has elevated his game as he is clearly one of the best passes in the entire league now, and overall one of the best weapons in the entire league.
I know that it wasn't part of the episode or the awards. But if the season or if we're guessing midseason, who would be your Super Bowl matchup and who do you have winning? Question
tough.
for both of you.
That's tough.
Okay.
Oh, that's tough.
Dibo, you want to go first?
No, I can't. I got to think about that for a second.
Fair enough. AFC Ravens, obviously, they've been the most complete team out of that entire out of that entire conference as a whole. So I'm going with Baltimore, and then from the NFC, a little bit harder. You got some big heavyweights there, but I'm gonna go with San Fran, the Niners.
Honestly, yeah, that's probably what I would say too. It's either San Fran or the Eagles.
Well, this man Matt hella disappointed, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, who can go? Bro, there's no team going into Philly and winning, especially in the playoffs, bro. I'm telling you, Philly might not be the best team on paper. They might not be more talented than the Niners, bro, but they by far have the best home crowd in the NFL.
Bro, man, when you look at Philly's personnel, coaching, right, other than quarterback play, from a overall talent perspective, from a scheming perspective, from an overall physicality perspective, San Fran, they match up really well against Philly.
I'd say Philly has a better receiver core and O-line. And I mean D-line, they probably are the best two in the league. At least depth wise. Because you have Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox as your backups at this point for guys like Jalen Carter, Hassan Reddick, Jordan Davis. Like they just have the numbers. I think Kevin Byard is going to be a really big addition in those key moments. But AFC, I think Baltimore's kind of running away with it at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
them Chiefs look ass.
I know the fan whose team. I know the fan whose team had Brent Rippon play last week's not talking to my face right now.
Hey, we had Brent Rippon play, and we barely lost by more than the Chiefs lost or Chiefs beat Dolphins.
Y'all still 3-6. I don't care.
Bro, you almost lost to a team that can't beat good teams.
Enjoy Cancun.
What does that mean about your team?
Enjoy Cancun. I'm sure Donald, Stafford, and Cup, along with McVay, I'm pretty sure all of them they already got their Cancun tickets already. Looking forward to going on vacation.
That's cool.
Early I might add too. So
go to Cancun. He's a Hall of Famer.
Enjoy Cancun. That's all I gotta say.
Matt Stafford will enjoy Cancun after he gets a gold jacket too.
No.
He's the Hall of Famer. Come on.
No, he's not.
He's a Hall of Famer.
He's not.
This is just an insane white hate at the moment.
How is it white hate? I have Brady as my GOAT for bro. Brady is my GOAT. Is Brady not a white man?
Okay, but who else could be your GOAT? Joe Montana, Aaron Rodgers, other white quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You're talking about a white position.
I'm not wait, bro.
Statistically, I don't want to be controversial, but statistically, it's a white position.
But I do not hate Stafford because of his skin color. I don't hate Stafford at all. I'm just saying that his resume, when you look at his resume overall, especially compared to other QBs in the Hall of Fame, it's not there. It's not there.
Is Joe Flacco a Hall of Famer?
Fuck no.
Joe Flacco's going to get in the Hall of Fame.
No, okay, you're trolling.
Joe Flacco's going to get in the Hall of Fame. I don't think Joe Flacco should be there, but Joe Flacco's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
One postseason run, he is not going to get in the Hall of Fame.
I'm telling you, they're going to give it to him.
No, he's not.
Bro, the NFL's going to do it.
I'm so confused. Man, are you trolling or not? Because I'm really confused right now.
I don't think Joe Flacco belongs in the Hall of Fame, but I think the NFL will put him in the Hall of Fame.
Bro, you're acting like this shit is basketball. It's not going to happen.
It's going to happen.
No, it's
I'll be the first one. I'll be flooding your DMs when it happens.
Do it then, because it's never happening.
When is he eligible? How long does he have to?
I don't care. He's never gonna make the Hall of Fame. He's never gonna make the Hall of Fame. No, he's not.
Knowing Joe Flacco, he probably did it too. Like he probably perfectly maneuvered it,
bro.
So his eligibility times up with nobody else retired.
Oh, stop, bro. There are QBs that have had MVP caliber seasons, made All Pros, got all these statistics, and
like
still
Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford, MVP.
Matt Stafford's never had an All Pro in his entire career.
He's had MVP caliber seasons.
But you didn't get MVP, bro. Never. Only one Pro Bowl. No All Pros. And the season where he won the chip, he didn't win Super Bowl MVP. And it was even like the third best player in that entire game.
Well, I think the dude who won Super Bowl MVP wasn't going to win it either. If everybody stayed healthy, I think OBJ was definitely on his way to winning a Super Bowl MVP.
Okay, so Stafford would have been fourth still, so he would have been outside the top three.
No, Aaron Donald was not gonna. Aaron Donald, outside of the last play of the game, Aaron Donald was a no-show.
Was a no-show?
In the Super Bowl.
Von Miller were cooking the entire Bengals.
Von Miller was cooking. Aaron Donald was.
They were both cooking the entire game.
Aaron Donald wasn't. Bro, the run game was. Bro, Joe Mixon was cooking us in the Super Bowl.
Oh my god.
But Stafford, you're talking about Stafford. Stafford's basically is Cooper Kupp a Hall of Famer? Cooper Kupp wasn't a Hall of Famer.
Wide receiver is probably the most hardest position to be a Hall of Famer, and
okay.
I know Coop has the Triple Crown season, but he's not a Hall of Famer at this point. I'm sorry.
Well, one, I would disagree, but I don't know if I disagree actually. But the fact that you're considering it, you would have never considered that before his seasons with Stafford. Kelvin Johnson had his best years with Stafford, right? This dude, Puka Nacua, was going off with Stafford. Like, this dude makes top wide receivers. He has the statistics. I mean, the dude is, I don't know where he ranks in yardage and completions, but he's always been a heavy down thrower. And if the Lions could have had a competent defense, if the Lions could have surrounded him with some of the pieces that they have now, the Lions would have been a force back then.
Oh my god.
Is that a debate? If Prime Stafford replaced Jared Goff on this roster, the Lions are the favorites out of the NFC, are they not? With this O-line, this running game, Amon-Ra, and the defense, they're not.
I still have Philly and probably even San Fran. I'm sorry, but hey,
I think that Hayden's elite.
Hey, we gotta move on to our next segment. Sorry, y'all, but hey, in the future, this could be a standalone episode, but we gotta have a whole debate on the Stafford Hall of Fame talk. We could do that because
I just want to say Dibo saying he's not Hall of Fame, but Dibo also has said Matt Stafford was never top 10. Year with the Rams,
I said he was top 10 during the Rams season.
No.
Yes, I did.
You had Derek. Wait, no.
No, I didn't have Cole over Stafford.
Swear. I know it was somebody in the group chat. I remember me and
Danny,
bro. It was Danny. But I thought it was you too.
You got the wrong black guy. That's crazy.
No, I thought it was Danny, but it was definitely somebody else in there too. Because it was two people versus two people. And I remember it was me and Andrew saying he was top 10. That's why don't tread on your words now, Dibo. You're backtracking. You're looking like Stephen A.
Oh no,
But
not Stephen A.
But Debo, tell us the special segment you got planned.
special segment. Yeah.
Moving
So
on.
yeah, let's move on to NBA. Move on to our NBA segment. So with what I have planned, right, for this episode, obviously the NBA season's in full swing. The in-season tournament, actually, there's games tonight. Hopefully, my Celtics can win.
There is. Yeah.
Can beat the Nets. But to continue with my segment, we're gonna play a game called Valid or Not Valid. And with what we're gonna do is that I say a statement. This statement is not my actual opinion. It's just an overall statement that I made up for these discussions on this episode. And so I got 5 of those right now. And for each statement, we're gonna debate if
Have some dialogue.
those said statements are valid or not valid. So
All
are
right.
we ready?
All right, let's get into it.
All right.
Let's go. All right. So with the first statement I have from the Western Conference is that both the LA Lakers and the Phoenix Suns will not finish top 3 in the Western Conference. Valid or not valid?
Not valid.
Oh, valid. I thought he was gonna explain. Valid.
All right.
Yeah, you guys care to give y'all explanation?
Yeah.
Well, here, Matt,
The Lakers, I've been saying it basically since the year started. This is the same Lakers team as last year. This is the same exact roster a year older. Sure, they added Christian Wood and Gabe Vincent and Cam Reddish, but this is the same team. And they started the year 3-5. They're going to make some moves around the trade deadline, but this is the same team as last year. AD's already gone down with an injury. They're already out of the play-in. They're having to come from behind just like last year. And so, while I think they might look good post-trade deadline like every LeBron team has in the past, I think that they're just going to fall back too many games and not be a top 3 seed. And then for the Suns, I could see the Suns being a top 3. They're pushing it, but I think Nuggets have the 1 seed on lock. I think Dallas has been really impressive this year. I think Dallas might be a top 3 seed. I think the Timberwolves have looked good. The Warriors are taking the regular season serious. Even OKC's taking the regular season serious. And as Owen said, they've informed Shea that he can start winning games.
That's the man.
So I don't see either of these teams being top 3, especially with – I know Bradley Beal's back, but the Suns just always have too many injuries, and that's 2.0.
Okay. Owen?
No, I think the Suns will be top 3, but I don't think the Lakers will. So that's why I think the statement's valid. I think the Suns, we saw them, they finished 4th last year, and I think the team is better this year than it was last year. While that's subject to debate, I do think that's the case. Of course, there's going to be other teams in the West, Thunder, obviously, for example. Now the Clippers making moves. But the big 3 that the Suns have, when they can finally gel together, I don't see them finishing outside of the top 3, and it really is as simple as that. Now, do I think they'll have success in the postseason with that big 3 and the lack of depth? That's a topic for another day. But I do think in the regular season they can win enough games to be top 3.
All right. With my opinion, I'm going to say valid. I agree with this statement. And to start off with the Lakers, right now, there's just so many question marks involving this team, man. First, AD's health. He got banged up again super early into the year. I know he played during that same game too as well against. I'm blanking on the team,
The Heat.
Okay, the Heat, Miami. I know he played the same game as well during that same game, but throughout his entire career with LA, other than the COVID year, where obviously they play in the bubble, he has not played over 60 games in a single season. And with how this Lakers team is currently structured, with LeBron getting up there in age is going to be 39 this coming year. For AD in the Lakers as a second option, you have to be consistently healthy for an entire season to help this team out. When LeBron could potentially, with his old age and especially with him being on such heavy minutes to start the year off, a serious injury could be put in play, leaving the Lakers to count on AD being that top guy, that leading scorer on a night-to-night basis. And if you're not available, then that's just going to hurt the team in the long run. And other factors too. Reeves, he hasn't showed up. His shooting splits have gone down. D'Lo has been a non-factor, both defensively and offensively. Gabe Vincent, the guy that was a shooter replacement, he's been a non-factor. Jackson Hayes, he's been a non-factor too. He's been bad, although people expected him to not be good to begin with. Well, Christian Wood, an exception. He's been solid, but you look at this Lakers team, and with how early this year is right now, at this point, they don't have to press the panic button yet, but there are a ton of concerns involving this team. And with Phoenix, right? First off, the health of their big three, especially with KD and even with Bradley Beal's back injury, if those three are not going to be playing at the same time on a consistent basis, this team's screwed. They're fucked, especially with their bench, man, and with their defense too. Just the lack of depth they already have, and with their defense, um they're prone their weakness involving them letting up easy baskets around the rim, and including their best defensive big right now being Drew Eubanks, not Yusuf Nurkic, who they got as the Aiden replacement. Oh man, I really don't know how this team's gonna figure it out. I really don't know.
So
There's
how's it
70
valid?
something
You said
games
valid,
left in
didn't
the
you?
season.
You
Yeah,
said valid, right?
yeah, I said they weren't gonna make top three.
Yes.
Oh, so wouldn't it be not valid? Or wait, what?
No, valid because they're both not going to make the top three, which is what the statement says. I said that it was not valid.
Oh, okay. Then valid.
Yeah.
Then my bad.
All good, all
No,
good.
I seriously think the Suns are Nets 2.0. It's just gonna happen where Bradley Beal has his back injury. KD, as much as I hate to say it, it's been like just something you can mark on the calendar in a sense of he's going to go down at some point and miss probably like 2-3 weeks of the season. Book out of nowhere has started to have injury problems where he's missing time now. Even Nurkic has missed some time in the past. Eric Gordon is getting up there in age. It's just so many question marks on the team with a new system too.
Unfortunately, man,
I don't think so. But
yeah, man. Obviously, I've had these teams being mad high with among the Western Conference's elite before the year started, and I was still um, on that fact earlier this month. Well, last month, but as of right now, I just can't do it. I can't do it, man.
Who's the second best team in the West right now? Like not record wise, but who do you think? Because obviously first is Nuggets.
Nuggets clear one.
It's got to be Dallas.
It's either between the Mavs and the Warriors, and I'm gonna pick the Mavs. That's a second.
Any chance Grant Williams can get some love?
Yeah, he's been great. Yeah, he's been great to start the year off. One of the best guys in the entire league, and defensively, he's been solid too, along with a few other guys on that Mavs unit. So
hey, shout out to Tim Hardaway though. Because I remember before this season, a lot of people, especially on this pod, were saying his ass needs to get out of Dallas. But he's done that 6-man role. He's averaging 18 on the year, and he's been lighting it up every time he comes in. So shout out to him, starting the year well.
Great efficiency too.
Yeah, yeah. All
All
right,
right.
always got to shine some light on some former Knicks.
Okay, calm down now.
All right, what's the next statement, Debo?
All right, man.
Valid or not valid?
Next statement: Cam Thomas will be an All-Star this year. Valid or not valid?
Well, that's tough.
Not valid, but Cam Thomas is legit. Cam Thomas is legit.
I think I'll probably have to agree with you there, Matt.
Yeah. Cam Thomas is averaging like 27, and coming into the season, I was hyping up Mikal as much as I could. I mean, I've always been a big fan of Mikal. Just the fact that he's an Iron Man and wants to play every game is kind of something rare you see nowadays in the league. So any chance that you can hype him or Kevon Looney up just because they play, you kind of have to. But man, Cam Thomas has been the best player on this team this year.
He's
Um,
amazing.
he's been the number one player on the offensive end. Basically, they look for him to create the offense, not for McKellen. Whether it's off the drive, off the catch and shoot, he's been efficient no matter what. Basically, a professional scorer. And on the flip side, on the defensive end, where you would typically think of him as a liability, he's been solid. I won't say he's been like good or great, but he's been solid. And I think if you're getting the offensive production that you're getting and he's playing solid defense, I think that the Nets will be pretty happy.
Yeah, and no, I don't think he'll be an All-Star this year because I mean, All-Star is based off fan voting. It takes a while. You have to kind of like to become an All-Star. You kind of have to establish yourself in the league, and this is really like the first actual season we're seeing Cam Thomas do what he can do. Like obviously, Matt and I have been on that since last season, but now it's like this is the first season that I guess the rest of the world's seeing it, and I just think it's still too soon. The rest of the fan base of the NBA probably will be reluctant to vote him over someone else that they already like.
Especially with this injury. I think he's out for like 2-3 weeks.
2-3 weeks, yeah, ankle sprain, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russ tripped him.
Oh, really? I didn't watch
It was like it was an accident trip. It wasn't a real trip.
Okay.
I'm messing. But he got up, he like tried shaking it off, and then he couldn't shake it off and just went out.
Damn, that's tough for him. Prayers up for him. Hopefully, he'll be back to speedy recovery. But on this statement, I'm going to say this is not valid. But with his game, with what we've seen so far, the signs, man, they're looking very bright. The future is bright for this young man. Um, I haven't been the biggest Cam Thomas fan over the past few years, but there's one thing that has been consistent with my analysis on Cam Thomas, and that is he can score the fuck out that basketball.
Oh my god, dude!
Professional scorer.
Professional scorer, man. This straight bucket getter, and with his efficiency that's been shown throughout the start of this year, and his ability to be so effective on three levels of the court, whether it's driving to the lane or just being a shooter, getting to spots, catch and shoot on the perimeter. All the signs are there of this guy being one of the most elite scorers in the NBA, and hopefully it continues.
Yeah. I don't know if you got any other Nets stuff in there, but while we're on the topic of the Nets, I want to give some love to Ben Simmons. For
Shout
years,
out
we were
Ben
talking
Simmons,
about that man playing the Draymond Green role, and he's finally doing it. He's averaging like 6, 10, and 6, the most Draymond numbers.
The
I
triple
know
single.
he's not playing tonight against you guys, Dibo. He's been out the last couple days with some back problems, but Ben Simmons has finally been able to get minutes on the court, and when he's been on the court, he's looked good for once, and it's basically the first time we've seen that in like 2 years. So I'm really happy to see that.
Yeah, I'm happy too. For him to be able to take into that new role and to be able to and to thrive into that, because with what we've seen from Simmons his whole entire career was that okay, he's not the most effective scorer. He's not aggressive enough. But one thing that has always been a consistent part about his game throughout his career was one, his defensive side of the ball, him being an elite defender, him being an elite rim protector, and even being an elite wing defender on the perimeter. And two, him being such a great playmaker, getting people open, whether it's with him bringing the ball up the court, setting up the offense, him getting the ball down a low post, him looking at open receivers, catch and shoot guys, getting those easy opportunities to make threes. And so, yeah, I'm happy for Ben Simmons and hope it continues.
Yeah, yeah, and they finally have a decent roster that kind of fits his play style because they got like Royce O'Neal and Dorian Finney-Smith, who on the offensive end they're basically just standing in the corners waiting to catch and shoot, and then you got Mikal and Cam Thomas. Those are 3-level scorers. So instead of having Joel and Ben Simmons kind of clogging the paint, it's really like Ben Simmons is the only dude in the paint on the offensive end of the ball. And then, as you mentioned, this on the defensive end of the ball, he can basically switch onto anybody.
Yeah, guard 1 through 5, which that is so valuable in today's game.
Oh,
Players being
absolutely.
able to switch consistently on those pick and rolls, on those off ball screens. So Ben Simmons, he's one of the most premier players, to say the least, at being effective in that way.
But trade Dinwiddie. It's bro, Dinwiddie and Julius Randle might be the most frustrating players to watch in the league.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't mention Julius Randle with these statements, but can you care to give a little bit of a rant if you got the time?
Oh. I mean, how much time we got?
Oh no,
No, I'm playing.
we not record the whole episode.
No, no. Julius Randle, he has been looking better the last, I think, 2 games. He had a good game against the Spurs, and then he kind of bounced back against the Clippers the game before that. But outside of that, he's been shooting tour dates, as everybody's been saying. I think actually on the year, you guys want to guess his 3-point percentage? This was
He's shooting like
after the Spurs
16%,
game. No, it's higher than that.
Wait, it's higher than what number?
16.
18.
No, it's not that low. It's like 25%. But for that to be your second best player, the way Tom Thibodeau plays it, like, oh, everything has to go through Julius. Julius should bring the ball up court. Like, for some reason, those two are like this. They're intertwined like that. But for me, I would have been happier keeping Obi and letting Julius Randle go. Like, for what Obi did for us, just the catch and shoot ability. I know he wasn't great on the defensive end, but Julius Randle, sure, he's an underrated playmaker. Sure, he'll fill the stat sheet, but I just feel like there's a real cap to a team when Julius Randle has to be your best player. And while I think it's obviously Jalen Brunson, I don't even think there's much debate about it anymore. It just feels like within the Knicks locker room and the way Tibbs is coaching, like Julius Randle has to be like the biggest piece on the team, and I can't stand it. But shout out to Quinn Grimes, he's hooping, and
He
I'll
sure
always
is.
love
Quickly too.
But we didn't pay quickly, so he low-key needs to not hoop. And then he
Damn.
can start hooping once we sign him again.
Why did you? Damn, that's insane. But y'all gave DiVincenzo money, but y'all didn't give Quickly an extension.
It's because he wanted 25 a year.
Oh,
We offered him 20, and he didn't want it.
Damn, that is true. 25 a year for Quickly. Although I do like him, he's one of the best bench scorers in the entire league. 25 for a minute Quickly, it's a little bit much. So it's a little bit much.
It is. But hey, if you want, be my guest to prove you're worth 25. I'd be happy to learn that you're worth 25. But Julius. Oh, I also, if we're talking Knicks ball, you guys want to hear a stat that Mitchell Robinson, first Knick ever to lead it or to have this stat, and like only the 8th player in NBA history to have this stat.
Okay.
First player through 8 games to have 50 offensive rebounds.
Damn, 50
offensive rebounds.
That's insane.
Yeah, he's been snagging.
Shout out Mitchell Robinson. I mean, I've always liked him since he came into the league, but one thing I've always been a critic on him in his game was his motor and his ability to stay consistent, to stay determined throughout these games. And these past couple of seasons, like, I feel like a fire. I don't know if you're getting the same thing, man, but I feel like a fire has been lit under his ass. He's been playing his ass off harder. He's been competing more on a night-to-night basis, and because of that, he has shown that he can be one of the more capable bigs in this league.
No, yeah. When we first paid him that money, I thought it was an overpay, but that contract's looking better and better every day.
Mm.
But what's the next statement, or what's the next valid or not valid?
All right. The next statement: Tyrese Halliburton is a top 3 point guard right now.
All right, so Curry's obviously one. Are we counting Luka as a point guard?
Yes.
Not valid. Not valid. Luka, Curry, and Shea.
Owen.
Yeah, no, that'd be my 3 too. I'd probably say.
Yeah. I think Tyrese was hooping. He had a 40 piece against the Hornets. I was watching that game. He was going off. And the Pacers have looked really good. They beat the Bucks again last night. But I don't think he's top 3, top 5 maybe.
I will
top
say he's a very, very smart player, and I love players with high IQ like that. But I don't know. I don't know if he has the crazy deep bag that the 3 that we talked about ahead of him do. Because
I mean, he is making a case for himself too, man. I mean,
absolutely.
I think he has to be the assist leader, right? He's averaging damn near 12 assists per game, and which I might add, only 3 turnovers per game. So even with this high usage rate, he is still not turning the ball over consistently. He's being efficient with the basketball, setting up players to get wide open looks, wide open buckets. So right now, I feel like he could be in those convos. I would not be mad.
Would you have him above Curry?
I would no, I would not. And with this comment, with this statement overall, I would say not valid right now.
Okay.
Not valid. It wouldn't be. But he's making a damn case to be there in those
he's
comments.
amazing.
Because that Pacers offense, I don't know if you guys noticed, but they're leading first in offensive rating and pretty much near the top of all the offensive statistics. And they're at a historical pace right now. And the main reason, obviously, is because of Halliburton and him being such a great offensive engine.
No, he's been fantastic this year. I wish it's so unfortunate that they didn't win that Hornets game. And the way they lost it with him getting clamped up, that I felt so bad for him. Because that might have been his best offensive performance like I've seen personally.
Mm-hmm.
But his 3-point ball, I've been really impressed with how improved it is this season. And then because we already knew the playmaking was there, but if he can add this 3-point shooting to make that a threat on the pick and roll, it's really impressive.
Yeah, and just him being more aggressive as a scorer in general, just him getting his shots, him getting his looks on a consistent basis, and just not just playmaking, setting up for others, which obviously that's great in of itself, but to be on that next level of like caliber point guards in this league, you have to consistently score the basketball. You have to consistently be a threat in multiple facets of the game offensively, whether it's playmaking or scoring, getting buckets on your own. And I feel like we are seeing a leap currently with Halliburton's game, which I think it's not going to take long before we're going to put him in these like elite tier convos.
Hey, some people had him better than Trae Young already.
I mean, right now he's obviously better than Trae.
I'm some people.
Right now he's better than Trae. I'm gonna admit it, he's better than Trae right now.
Trae hooped.
Melo, Kate Cunningham, all the other point guards, even Jalen Brunson, Garland. Like I feel like he's really up there.
Nah, he's top 5 this season.
For sure.
He's only gonna get better. How old is he? He's like 23, 24?
Yeah, he's 23.
I think 23.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Sacktown's gonna regret trading him. If you didn't hear it enough, because everybody said it, but yeah, he's 23. I just checked, he's 23. All right, next statement.
All right, next statement. We're gonna continue in the East, and that is the 76ers are currently a top 3 team in the Eastern Conference right now.
So basically, this is a question of 76ers or Cavaliers. Or no. This is definitely valid.
I would say it's valid for sure.
Because I was gonna say, or go ahead, Owen.
I was just gonna be like, I mean, you got Celtics 1, Bucks 2, Sixers 3, and
I don't know.
okay,
If,
1
I
and
don't
2,
know if
1 and
Bucks
2
are
are
2.
interchangeable.
You could
I
put
don't
Sixers.
know.
I put Philly at 2 right now.
Nah,
To be honest,
Bro, the Bucks have not looked good this year.
They started rough, but they're
I
coming
put
back.
Philly.
They're
I put
back.
Philly at 2. I feel like Philly, they're more cohesive as a defensive unit compared to Milwaukee. I just think they have the better coaching. Nick Nurse, he's done a fantastic job so far. Which the hiring of Nick Nurse, I feel like that hiring was like very overlooked among NBA fans in the offseason because you bring in a guy like Nick Nurse, who I believe is an elite coach, top 5, one of the best coaches that can scheme up on a night-to-night basis, cook other coaches on the other side of the court, and you're seeing that for sure with Philly right now. With the defensive implementation of recovering defensively, with help defense, being able to rotate consistently, and offensively, not just relying on the pick and roll between the 2-man game, Embiid using him more as a passer, more guys moving along the perimeter, them actually using Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris is not staying on the corner anymore. He's actually getting more involved. And overall, they're a more cohesive unit compared to the Rivers era.
Can I read you guys a stat about the
Doc
Bucks?
Rivers. Yeah, go for it.
Shout out to Basketball Forever because I got this from them. But last year, so the Bucks were ranked 4th on defense with Drew Holiday last season. They're ranked 25th with Damian Lillard this year. Dame is playing career worst defense and is ranked 333rd in individual defensive rating. Milwaukee's offensive rating is worse than last year's too, while Drew Holiday's new team has the best offensive rating in the NBA by far. This Milwaukee Bucks team has not looked good.
No, they have not looked good. I mean, shout out Marion Beauchamp. He's been solid. He's been a solid defender to start the year off. But who else? What other wing defenders do they have? I mean, Connaughton's there. Malik Beasley. He's been a cone. I know his
when
minutes.
has he been a cone in his career, bro?
That's facts. But they were talking about him having such a big role with this team, and even on the defensive end. But it's not been there. And have you ever seen that one clip of him getting cooked the other night?
No.
His controller shut off.
Oh, he had one of those moments.
Yeah.
I mean, he is involved in the team though. You don't want him out shooting Damian Lillard?
No.
He's doing that though. He's like, there's games where he's out shooting Damian Lillard in field goal attempts.
Ew.
And
it's gross.
I don't know. And
respect, but that's gross. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Milwaukee. If you want to talk, I don't know if that's a statement, but if you had Milwaukee, if the statement was Milwaukee is the top 3 team in the East, that might not be valid at this current point.
Oh, come on, dude.
What?
Just because they haven't looked good doesn't mean they're not still a top 3 team.
But currently, right now, they haven't.
At the end of the day, they're still what, 5-2?
No, 4-4, or they're 5-3.
5-3. My fault. They did lose last night,
huh? But I don't know. I mean, who have they played that's like good teams? Like their wins have been against like my Knicks. I think they beat the Hawks.
You're shitting on your own team, bud.
So this is their wins. They lost against the Raptors twice. Oops, that's November. My bad, boy. Rusty at this. So they beat Sixers, lost to the Hawks, beat the Heat, lost to the Raptors. Lost to the Raptors, beat the Knicks, beat the Nets, beat the Pistons, lost to the Pacers. Like none of their wins are like that impressive. Sure, they beat Philly the first game of the year.
But none of their losses are also like good teams either, though. Like
the Hawks have been good this year. They've been really good to start off.
Pacers are.
Bro, Indiana, don't like Indiana right now. They're one of the best.
I'm not.
Pacers got a better record than the Bucks. Pacers are a top 3 seed right now in the East.
I don't think that means a top 3 team.
But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, at least the way I thought about it, I thought that this was supposed to be a team that was basically supposed to be unstoppable in the regular season. I don't mean to disrespect the Pacers because I do think the Pacers will be a play-in team at the end of the year. But I don't know. I thought that this team was supposed to be head and shoulders above everybody and not losing to like these teams. Like, because prior years we've seen this team dominate the East. We've seen them steamroll basically everybody in the East. I mean, they were the 1 seed last year. I think they were the 1 seed the year before that as well. And this is a team that has always taken the regular season seriously, especially a guy like Giannis. And so for them to kind of come out and not look great, like it's kind of concerning.
No, but you got to realize though, at the end of the day, they got a new coach. They got rid of their franchise point guard and brought in a new one. They've just they need to have some time to gel, and once that happens, I have no doubt the Bucks, not a sliver of doubt.
I mean, I'd agree with that, but I don't know. It's just I'll say it's disappointing to say the least.
Okay, I don't hate that.
But like if we're at the end of the season and we're making like playoff predictions, like I'm definitely gonna take them in the first round. Like, come on,
100%.
Like I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like to start the year they've been disappointing, and to start the year the Sixers have definitely outperformed them.
Mm-hmm. But going back to Philly, right?
They're top 3.
This could possibly be the final point before we move on. Lot of great things to look at with this team. I think it's going to continue throughout with obviously Nick Nurse being the new head coach and the James Harden ordeal. That drama is completely done. And along with the emergence of Tyrese Maxey, I think they're going to be amongst the elite in the Eastern Conference. And I honestly think come playoff time, with these new elements put together, they're going to make a deep run. They could possibly make a deep run.
It can't happen.
It can't happen.
Second round exit.
If it happens, Joel's not coming to New York, so it can't happen, bro.
It can't happen.
It can't happen.
Oh no!
I'd be so sick watching it. The one thing that scares me though is just like in the playoffs. Like, is Tobias Harris going to keep playing the way he is? Is Kelly Oubre going to keep playing the way he is? Though that's the thing that scares me the most with this team. Because do I know what Joel's going to bring in the playoffs? That might not be true. But, like, on paper, you know what Joel and Tyrese are going to bring. But I feel like with the surrounding pieces, if they do play one of those teams like a Boston with a deeper roster, or even like a Miami where come playoff time, it's like those players in the rotation, it's guys that's supposed to trust. That's kind of where I could see some problems for them.
All right, next statement, Dibo.
All right, last one. The Timberwolves are title contenders.
No. Not valid.
Do I even got to entertain this?
Not valid.
They're not valid, but the Timberwolves are a good team. They're
looking good, but there's not a chance.
I really don't think there's a team out the West this year but the Nuggets. Like, barring any Jokic injury, God forbid, like, I really don't know who can beat the Nuggets this year.
The Timberwolves.
No.
I'm okay. In a series where, in a playoff scenario, in a 7-game series, these teams match up again, I'm gonna pick the Nuggets.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you look at this team overall from a size perspective, along with them bringing in, along with Jaden McDaniels being healthy in this series, I think they could possibly cause an upset. They could possibly.
I think at the very worst, the game would go, or the series would go to 6 instead of 5.
Okay.
I don't
think so. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
It's tough. I mean, who's stopping Jokic? Because you want to say Rudy Gobert, but we've seen Rudy Gobert at like depoy levels get owned by Jokic, and that wasn't even when Jokic was running the league. That was Jokic. That was top 10 player Jokic, not top 1 player Jokic. No. And then to add, you have the pieces of an Aaron Gordon who's evolutionized his game. You have Michael Porter Jr. or what is it?
Looking really good, by the way.
With Murray, he's hooping without Murray.
Hey, one thing I might add about MPJ, him being a plus defender is scary.
That is
absolutely scary.
He's looked good on defense too.
Bro, him being a plus defender with his height and size, along with him already being one of the best catch and shoot players in the entire league, bro, that's scary. That is an elite 3-and-D guy in this league.
But I think that's coaching too. I mean, you want to talk about the Timberwolves? I think Chris Finch is not that good. I know a lot of people like Chris Finch.
Yeah, he's
I'm
probably
not
just
huge on Chris Finch.
I think he's probably just a mid coach at best.
Yeah, I put that.
I have him bottom tier. Yeah, I do have him bottom tier.
But I think Mike Malone, he's been able to get in MPJ's ear and basically be like, look, like right now you're putting up these big numbers, you're scoring the ball a heck of a lot, and while Murray is out, but in the playoffs it might be the same thing as last year where you can't hit your shot in the finals against the Heat, but if you can just put some effort in on defense, because that's all defense is, it's just effort. If you can put some effort in on defense, you're basically 7 foot with an enormous wingspan. Like, there's no reason you shouldn't be good on defense.
Absolutely.
So now that he's able to buy in, this team is looking really good.
Really good. I will say, I think our bench is better than it was last year too.
No, it is better. It is better.
I'm not that high on Reggie.
It is better.
I'm not that high.
Oh, he's been playing solid.
He's been playing solid in the starting lineup.
But I'm not even talking about Reggie though.
Christian Brown,
the other guys. Christian
Brown, Watson, even Julian
Strawther.
Watson been blocking
Zeke
everything.
Naji, I've not been high on Zeke Naji in the previous years, but he's come out and looked pretty good.
Man, we were crapping on Zeke Naji before the season even started, and now he's a contributor on this team. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Zeke Naji's not who you want, though. You need to trade for Jericho Sims at that backup spot. I'm telling you, it's so meant to be.
The move of all time. I'm
telling you, he'd be like, he'd be Zeke Naji plus some for you guys.
Hey, either way, Nuggets are scary.
That's true. Yeah. But going back to the Timberwolves, going back to Minnesota, I'm actually gonna say that that is valid. As a dark horse contender, that is valid. I feel that way too. When you add the fact, first off, their overall chemistry, complete difference maker, Gobert, all of that drama involving him and the entire team, that's gone. There's no noise coming out of the locker room with role differentials, egos, stuff like that. That's completely out the way. And with that, when you add Gobert to this roster, completely healthy, alongside a healthy Cat, alongside Cat, who I said Cat 2 times, alongside Ant, who's already one of the emerging stars in the entire league. He's been great this year. Jaden McDaniels he's been back. He's been contributing immediately. Mike Conley, he's been solid, being that OG veteran leader, playmaking for them, setting up the offense, giving guys open looks. I'm sorry, and you add the fact that they're already one of the best defensive teams in the entire league statistically. I could see this team making some noise come playoff time. I really can.
Hey, good for them if they do. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think they would also lose to the Mavs.
Their size might be.
I think they would lose to the Warriors.
They won't. No. They don't lose to Golden State. I'm sorry.
I think the Warriors are a bigger sleeper contender than the Timberwolves.
100%. 100%.
Personally.
Hey, what have we said? Don't count out 30.
Don't never bet against 30. That's the same.
I'm not betting against 30. But I'm betting against the entire team, the rest of the roster. I'm sorry. You look at the team from a size perspective compared to a Denver, even like in LA, a Minnesota. It's just night and day. Rick Wiggins, he's been poor this year. Clay, he's been inefficient.
But you say that, but like, who's going to play for the Timberwolves? Because I don't think Rudy Gobert is going to play in that series. I don't think Rudy Gobert is going to be on the court for defensive purposes if they play the Warriors. Because I think the Warriors.
Because he'll be a liability out there compared to the lineup.
Yeah. Cat will be out there, sure, but it's not like Cat's like this go to the basket, crash the boards type big. And even if he is, it's like Draymond has already.
They would probably run Nikhil if they played the Warriors.
They probably run Naz Reid at the 4, or I don't know. They might go like small ball and put McDaniels at the 4, and then Alexander and Walker at the 3.
Yeah, and then you'd obviously have Ant too.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about Mike Conley's like leadership and experience. Like, What's the farthest Mike Conley's gone in the playoffs? Second round, conference finals. Warriors definitely got a lot more experience than that. Let me tell you. Better coaching.
I would take Minnesota over Golden State in the series.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
I'd take Minnesota.
Anyway, statement's not valid.
Yeah.
Bottom line, the statement's not valid.
That defense is not going to look the same without Rudy on the court. And I'm telling you, Rudy's not going to be on the court.
I believe in the Wolves. I believe that they can match up way much better in small ball situations compared to Gobert's time in Utah. They got better personnel, more capable wings to not get exposed during those scenarios. I just think that's not going to be that big of a factor moving forward.
No. I don't think that personnel. If you want to talk about small ball, talk about the team that basically invented small ball. You think they're going to out small ball the Warriors? Draymond is the best 5 you can have for small ball. Am I wrong? Is there a better 5 you can have for small ball?
A better
Ben Simmons?
On paper, yeah. But no.
That's on paper.
Damn.
I heard I didn't get to watch, but I heard the Nuggets Warriors game was good as fuck.
Yeah, it was.
But that Clay
controversial call, but
yeah. But that Clay shot at the end was so funny.
Dude, did you watch Flight's video? Did you watch Flight's video?
Light? Oh no, I haven't yet. I haven't.
Bro, he just ends the video and he sees it.
Bro, this man Clay half-assed that shot so much. And the funnier thing about that too was that there was still time on the clock for him to get a shot.
Yeah, there was.
Like he had to.
Did you see Flight glazing Wembanyama?
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, no, he's been glazing Wemby hard, bro.
Hold on, what does he call Wembanyama? I already forgot the name.
Went bananas.
Went banana. But it was literally the interview where Wemby was saying like basically like that MSG didn't impress him, which I'm not gonna say, but he was like, dude, look at Wemby, or he's like, look at Wembanyama. He's like, he's not even from this country. Look at that English, so perfect. Like, and I can't remember what word he said, but Wembanyama basically said a big word. And like Fight's like, I didn't even know how to properly use that before. But this dude, he's from France. He's already showing me how to use the language, and he just got here. I can't wait to watch him and stuff. It was elite glazing.
Yeah. Oh man. But with that being out the way, we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah. A fun episode. Little half hour, or not half hour, an hour for the first half, hour for the second half, NFL, NBA.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I feel like this was a very entertaining episode. A lot of points were made, a lot of laughs, a lot of engaging debates for all of us to partake in. So,
hold on. Before we get out of here, do you want to do some pick'ems for the in-season tournament today?
Just the two games.
I'll read the games. No, there's a ton of games.
Yeah, let's do it.
There's the two nationally televised games.
Yeah.
All right. Pistons at home against the Sixers.
Oh, Sixers.
I'm taking Philly. I love watching Detroit play right now because of Azar Thompson.
The Sixers are just better, though.
Yeah, I got Philly.
Hey, get Killian out of that starting lineup. But I got
Start Marcus Sasser, please. Please, Monty, start Marcus Sasser. He's way better than Killian.
They need Jaden Ivey back, but he's been sick. Wizards at home against Hornets. Ooh, the Tank Bowl.
Oh, God. The Hornets are going to win, but the Wizards are the worst team in the league.
The Hornets are one of the worst, too.
I know, but the Hornets are still going to win. Their record may be the same, but the Wizards are so much worse. It's not like the eye test will tell you that.
That's true. I really can't stand watching the Wizards play.
It's miserable, bro.
Shout out Danny Advia. Kuzma's been hooping, but nah, man, it's horrible hoops. That game, both teams are gonna score more than 130 points.
Yeah, I got Hornets as well.
Yeah.
Celtics at home against Nets.
Oh, we beating Brooklyn ass.
Yeah, Celtics are winning.
Celtics. That Cam Thomas injury does a lot to me.
Yeah.
Rockets at home against Pelicans.
Rockets.
Yeah.
I don't think Zion's playing either.
CJ's out. Get well, CJ. Ruptured lung. Get well soon.
Prayers up for CJ, my man.
But yeah, I'll take Rockets. Rockets low key look decent this year.
Yeah, they do.
Told you.
Grizzlies at home against Jazz.
Grizzlies.
Yeah, I'll probably say Grizzlies.
Spurs at home against Timberwolves.
I'm actually going to say Spurs, even though the T-Wolves have been cooking.
Spurs need to give Trey Jones more minutes. He needs to be the starter at point guard. No more points, Sohan. It's horrible ball.
Yeah, that's true.
Points Sohan. That's fine. Mavs at home against Clippers.
Mavs.
Yeah, Clippers are going to go on 3.
Clippers have not looked good with James Harden.
They've been so bad. They've been trash. Oh my god.
Suns at home against Lakers.
Suns.
No AD, I believe.
I thought he was probable.
He said it's game time decision, but Book is out as well.
Oh yeah, actually, I'm picking up. Excuse me, the Lakers.
Kings at home against Thunder.
Kings have been so bad without Fox, man. I'm picking up.
Insanely bad.
Horrible. Sabonis is not that guy, bro.
They lost by like 50.
Yeah, but they're at home. I think
the Rockets.
I think the Kings will win.
No.
Nah, Thunder for
Who
sure.
was scoring on that Kings team?
Malik Monk. Yeah.
Give me the Thunder easily.
No, they got their shit rocked back-to-back nights by the Rockets.
They did. It's brutal.
Hey, one more thing I want to add to anyone that was saying Sabonis was more impactful than Fox last year. You do not know basketball. Quit it. Don't disrespect my man Fox like that, bro. Please.
Where's Sabonis rank among bigs? Top 10?
I think.
Because probably, yeah.
I take Bam, Gobert.
Oh, I would not take Gobert over Sabonis.
I take Gobert.
That might be a flip of a coin, Loki.
I would take Sengun soon. I take Sengun soon.
Nice.
Not right now, but soon. Wemby is better than Sabonis. Obviously Jokic and Embiid, Cat.
No, I don't know if Wemby is better than Sabonis, bro.
You said Cat or Embiid?
I don't know if Wemby is better than Sabonis yet.
I'm easily taking Wemby over Sabonis.
Wemby did not impress me in his MSG debut.
I do not care. I'm still taking Wembanyama over Sabonis. He is still by far the most impactful player on that Spurs team, even without them giving him the ball consistently. Even without
they need to give him the ball more.
Even without him not having a consistent playmaker to force feed him the ball, I'm taking Wemby over Sabonis easily.
I mean, yeah, Wemby would probably be better than Sabonis if he was on the Kings. That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But
are you taking Sabonis or no? I was gonna say Sabonis or Steven Adams, but like that would be disrespectful. If
I'm taking Porzingis over Sabonis.
I would too.
Yeah. Right now, yeah, I take Sabonis over him.
I take Miles Turner over Sabonis.
Porzingis. You say no, not Miles Turner.
No. Yeah. Bro, Miles Turner's Miles Turner.
I don't know why you keep gassing up Miles Turner like this.
Miles Turner is nice, bro.
What? You say Miles Turner is better than Gobert, bro. Stop
talking. 100%, bro.
Bro, Miles Turner is an elite rim protector.
Then what is Gobert in Sabonis?
Yeah, but he has the 3-point ability that Gobert doesn't.
Gobert has zero offensive bag, bro.
Gobert won D-point 3 times.
I don't care. Gobert is a 7-foot tall Jared Vanderbilt, bro. He's ass,
bro. This man, Miles Turner's averaging 18 points with 40% from the.
I don't care. None of that's more impactful than Gobert's defensive ability, whether it's around the paint or even outside.
On 4 attempts a game.
I don't care about Miles Turner shooting threes. Gobert is a way better center than Miles Turner.
Points on the board.
Rudy Gobert, bro. Gobert is one of the greatest defensive bigs of all time.
Oh,
Yeah, but
He
we're talking right now.
right. He's
What does
still
that have
a
to do
great
with anything?
defender. He is still a great
He is.
defensive
This year
big.
he's been
He's
been
an elite
much improved
defensive
compared
big.
to last year.
And his
But
defensive presence outweighs anything Miles Turner does on the basketball court. No
Miles
disrespect.
Turner was in conversations for All NBA defense last year.
I don't care. It's not better than Gobert.
he 100%.
Okay, sure. I'll give you. He's not better than Gobert, but is his offensive game lifts him is bigger than the gap on defense. I would argue.
No, it's
It is. Bro, Rudy's averaging like 4 points on offense or like 6 points.
I don't care. Wait, no, I don't care. It's not his job. He's already in all.
We're talking just centers. We're talking just centers, bro.
And he's
Rudy's
still a better, bro. He's still a better center than Miles Turner.
He's not, bro.
Oh my god, bro. Do we still have more games? Let's continue.
If you want to talk about the modern NBA, Miles Turner is the prototypical big.
I don't, bro.
I don't know why you're so high on it, bro. It's so
Bro. Okay. Do we got more games to pick or are we?
No, that was the whatever game. I said
all right. Episode's up.
Kings Thunder. That's how we got onto the Sabonis shit.
Okay.
What do you have? Hold up. Chat or Chat or Sabonis?
Sabonis.
I take
right
Sabonis.
Now. Soon, I don't know.
I'll take Sabonis. Okay, right. So in the future, we're gonna have an individual debate on Stafford and individual debate on Rudy Gobert. We're gonna have that soon. It has to be done.
This man is like the leader of the Gobert fan base and doesn't pronounce his last name correctly.
I mispronounced it one time. It's Gobert, not Gobert. Gobert. My fault.
Yes, sir.
But we have to get out of here. If you watched this episode, thank you for watching, taking the time out of your day to watch us. We appreciate the love and support. Make sure to follow us on all 3 of our social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, all with the handle @LunchRoomDebates. Drop a quick follow and subscribe. We drop daily content on all those platforms. Pretty good stuff we got going on over there. And yeah, man.
That's Lunchroom Debates, if you guys didn't hear.
Yeah. Well,
did I not say Lunchroom Debates?
No, you did. I'm just messing.
No, one more time. Lunchroom Debates. Just to be clear.
The handle @Lunchroom Debates.
Yeah.
That's the handle. Well, we gotta head out. Peace.
All right. Catch you, boys. It's fun.